is when you don't have to run the heat nor the AC.
100%. And the windows can remain open all day.
Yeah.
24 hours. I mean, it can be nice and cool in the bedroom at night. It can be, warm-ish during the day.
Yeah.
But
on the work, you wear little long sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
Those type of things. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that as long as it's at least 70 during the day, which I don't know if it is.
No, I question your toughness if you wear sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, John. John's wearing sleeves. I know offensive linemen don't wear sleeves.
No, we don't wear sleeves
You're
in
right,
the game.
Greg.
This is as great as this is no game.
Now we find out where we rank.
We're so lucky to have you with us.
I know.
As opposed to an NFL game, I apologize, but.
Oh, okay. How about a college game? At least at the collegiate level. Is college radio at least?
Yes. Although a game doesn't last for 4 hours, at least it should. Oh, those are baseball games. Football games last exactly 3.5 hours.
Yes, that's true.
For sure. TV window.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on how many reviews we got.
Ooh, was his knee down before the ball crossed? Let's look at this angle. Oh, I don't know.
Well, they just want to get it right, Greg.
Yeah.
They don't care about time. They don't care about space. They just want to get it right. And unfortunately, the Tigers did not get it right last night, but at least they played a legitimate baseball game. Where there was actually some offense from their bats. They had 10 hits. Granted, 5 of the guys got 2 hits each, but it was
one of those was Spencer Torkelson. 3.
That's right. Torque had 2 hits. Scope had 2 hits instead of including a home run. Iggy had 2 hits. Eric Haas had 2 hits. Sure, I'm missing the one other person who had 2 hits, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It was a weird game. Elvin Rodriguez, his major league debut, obviously a little shaky at the start, giving up a grand salami to Max Kepler, who's just killing the Tigers this season, among others. But that's his 3rd home run against the Tigers.
Yeah.
4-0 lead. The Tigers battled back, tied the game, and once again, like Scope's home run was a solo shot. They still, when they have guys in scoring position, they don't seem to come through.
No, they left 3 in scoring position.
Yeah, but you know what? 4-4, they tied it, and then in the 9th, Chafin came in, and first one, you walked the first guy, even though it was Kepler, said, all right, here we go. And next guy singled, next guy popped up. And he got the ground ball he wanted, but it was just a little bias. Even if he makes that play, in a really tough,
Yeah, a tough out.
he couldn't get a double play. Kepler was going to score anyway.
You suffer some chafing.
I mean, he would have had to flip it probably from his glove.
Yes.
And it would have been tight to get a double play. However, I am a little nitpicky on him this morning. I don't think that was a hit. I think that should have been ruled an error.
I don't think so. I mean, because of what we said, he still would have been impossible almost to get it out.
Yeah.
I think that too would have been doable.
Getting a double play on that?
No, getting out at second.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't matter.
Right. Kepler would score.
That's why I said it was extremely nitpicky.
Very good.
I get, me, I'm not a big fan of the ease of scoring in
I
baseball
agree.
these days.
It's incredible. What they refuse to give guys errors.
Yeah.
It used to be, ball touches glove, error. Now it's not like that. It just hasn't been for a while.
Frustrating. They could have had a moment last night where, like you said, some guys were breaking through.
Yep.
Although it's not completely showing statistically, I'm a little encouraged by Torque recently.
Yes.
And his at-bats.
He went the other way. His double or his single. We completely went the opposite way. Taking the pitch where it was supposed to.
I think he could go roughly to just about 4 weeks to the day, though. The ugly 5-4 loss in Minnesota.
Yeah.
It wasn't as ugly, but just
a little gut wrenching.
Well, and we talked about it yesterday about how if the Tigers get up 3, or if the Tigers are down 3-0, like what's the likelihood that they come back?
Right.
And they went down 4 in the first, So after the first inning, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back and see how many times the Tigers have scored more than 4 runs. So I at least got an idea if there's
turning
hope.
back.
Yeah, if it's worth, do I just turn on Dan and have it as the background noise? They've scored more than 4 runs 6 times this year. So I thought, you know what? Background noise.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it has become. And there are some encouraging things for individuals. And I will continue to follow Spencer Torkelson because I do think that, while it's been a rough start, he's going to be a good ball player.
Hey, it was a shame yesterday. It was predictable. I understand why he did it. He took, I forget if it was Harold or Willie, one of the Castros out for a pinch hitter for Candelario, and he just popped up. That was a situation where another guy could have broken through with a big hit. You talk about the offense. So now they scored 114 games, 14 runs in 41 games. You take away the 13 that they had against Colorado on the day. Come on, it's unbelievable.
It's anemic at best.
Yes, but on the bright side, I thought Rodriguez, all things considered, handled himself well. The rest of the bullpen, obviously, Chafin, because he got the loss, but Lang, sometimes that breaking ball, whatever you want to call it, the cutter outside and the slider, man, he's hittable. He's really, really good. Joe Jimenez is pretty good in that role where he's not in high leverage situations. He's been better. They go at it again tonight. Bo Brisky coming off his worst start as a Tiger, going up against Sonny Gray. Now, there was some other games last night that hopefully got your attention. The Boston Celtics. This series is so bizarre. The Celtics win at 102-82. They've only lost 2 quarters in this whole series. The series is now tied at 2. Jason Tatum had 31 points after a pathetic performance on Saturday. Marcus Smart did not play for the Celtics. When I heard that, I said, they'll lose the series in 5 games. Hero did not play for Miami as well, but Miami was awful. They scored 11 points in the first quarter. They missed 15 of their first 16 shots. And how about this? The Miami Heat starters for the game scored 18 points. 18 points, and that's divide that by 5. But 2 of those players didn't even score of their starting 5. I've never seen that before.
Not great production. But you know what? And that's what we knew coming in, though, was that the Celtics were the best defense in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they showed it last night. They showed it, but they also, the Heat also showed that at times when things go cold, they just go cold.
They got so bad they had to put Duncan Robinson in the game. They played for, I think, 14 points. So, that series is tied to it. Just a weird series.
You know what it reminds me a little bit? It's the Pistons Spurs in 2005.
Yeah, I remember I got chastised by saying, these games are all boring because the first 4 games were blowouts.
Yeah, but it was 2-2, and then from that point on, I mean, good shot, Bob.
I
Is he going to
remember
play Friday or Thursday?
Yeah,
I do remember sending Stoney a very terse email after Game 5, hoping he was happy that the game was so close.
Very terse, wasn't it?
back in the day, that was 2005. You sent me an email, really?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Of all
And
the
he
plays,
responded, by the way, yes. Obviously, this is not where it is.
You were now.
I think that's the one play in sports history that Stoney will never be able to let go. It's pretty close.
That's right up there.
That play and the greatest greatest NHL play that he missed for his prom. Oh, it was an NBA. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot it said NHL.
Boston, Phoenix, 1976 NBA Finals. So that series is tied at 2. Hockey, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to go for 3 in a row as they sweep the Florida Panthers 4-0. The Panthers are the defending, they're the President's Cup champion. It just shows you even the President's Trophy doesn't mean squat this year. Vasilevsky is unbelievable. He had 49 saves last night. He has given up 1 goal in his last 7 series series clinching games. The last
Clutch.
they've won 10 consecutive series. In the series clinching games, all 10 of them, he's given up a total of 8 goals. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So they'll play the winner of the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. That series is a 2-1 Canes game 4 at the Garden tonight. And in the later game, let me tell you something. There's one way to really piss off a player, make death threats to him, because Naz Kadri got death threats by some St. Louis fans who were thought purposely injured. Goalie Bennington, and he got booed every time he touched the puck last night. 3 goals and an assist.
Yeah.
Kadri scores. Colorado wins it 6-3. They beat the Blues. They lead the Blues, I should say, 3-1. Now you were mentioning, these games in the Miami-Boston series, have been blowouts.
Yeah.
How about this crazy stat? 29% of the NBA playoffs this season, all the games so far, 20 or more have been decided by 20 or more points.
Point differential. Yeah.
29%. That's the highest percentage since 1959. Okay, you said that. Well, that's the NBA. The games aren't as good. Hockey is the greatest and all that, which I agree that hockey's better in the playoffs. However, in the NHL this season, playoffs, 49% of the games have been decided by 3 or more goals, which is the highest percentage since 1980.
More blowouts.
Yeah. No idea why that would be, but who the hell knows? All right. Coming up on the program today, Josh Donaldson. He got a little slap on the wrist, or was it too much? We'll also check out the state of Detroit sports, 750, and your patience level. That's coming up on the Stoney and Jansen program on a Tuesday, 97.1 The Ticket.
A Level 1 bank. It's where I've got my mortgage. It's where I refied my home. It's also yesterday where I signed on the dotted line for a home equity line of credit. I've done it now 3 times with Level 1 Bank. Each and every time, the communication with my loan officer has been outstanding. The process has been a quick and easy one. They were patient with me. They were creative in structuring my initial loan, and every single time, they made sure I was getting the best available rate. Level 1 Bank has earned my trust for all of these reasons. They also provide a wide variety of mortgage programs like first-time home buyer, new construction and renovation loans, jumbo loans, doctor loans. They even have a special mortgage program designed for first responders, medical professionals, teachers, and government or nonprofit employees. So if you are considering buying a new home, building a new home, refinancing the home you're in, I highly recommend giving Level 1 Bank a call. You can do that by calling Dan Irvin at 866-707-LOAN. That's 866-707-LOAN, or you can find him on the web at level1bank.com. Level 1 Bank is a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ 24-hour traffic center, this update brought to us by North Bloomfield Properties. No active accidents. Watching eastbound in 59, Groesbeck to I-94. Lane closures, ongoing road work in Warren. Northbound M53 Van Dyke, 11 to 12 mile road. Your right lane is closed. Through Dearborn Heights, southbound Telegraph, US 24 at Van Born Road. 1 lane open through Friday. And at Wixom Novi area, east and westbound Grand River between Wixom Road and Novi Roads. Lane closures each way. O'Neill Stevens with traffic.
If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. We also provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, northbloomfield.com.
It's Jeep Freedom Days going on all May long at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi friends, Bill Golling here, reminding you about some of the great values we have for you this month. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can lease a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited for just $428 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. We have a number of vehicles available, or you can order one. I'm sure we can find something that's just perfect for you here at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at golling.com.
The NBA playoffs are here, and you can make every game feel like Game 7 on FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Throughout the playoffs, all customers can place a no-sweat same-game parlay each week. You'll get up to $20 in free bets if you don't win. FanDuel has so many ways to play and And best of all, when you do win, you get paid fast. Faster than a fast break. New to FanDuel? Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code Doug. Once again, that's promo code Doug. And if you're new to gambling, one of the things I like about the app, it's easy to navigate. And if you already have an account, you're all set. No sweat. Either way, you get up to $20 in free bets if your same-game parlay during the playoffs doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Maximum free bet $20 per week. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Novo Platform Inc. is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services provided by Middlesex Federal Savings, FA. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
You started a business. So what? You want a parade? Truth is, sometimes you kind of do. That's why Novo celebrates the bravery it took. But not with a parade. With business financial tools that really do make your life easier. Novo is powerfully simple business checking. And unlike the traditional banking model, Novo has no minimum balances, no transaction limits, and no hidden fees. Novo is customized to your business with seamless integrations to Stripe, Shopify, QuickBooks Online, and more. Sign up for Novo for free and join the community of over 150,000 fearless small businesses who found the customizable business checking solution that admires their brave. Sign up for your free business checking account right now at novo.co/prime. Plus, our listeners get access to over $5,000 in perks and discounts. Go to novo.co/prime to sign up for free. novo.co/prime.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich so delicious it forces you to rethink everything you know about sandwiches, including whether or not they even need buns, but then you remember how good a brioche bun can be and then having to rethink your rethinking? That's finger-licking good.
KFC's chicken sandwich, always served hot and crispy, in your choice of classic or spicy. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone. They've got battery solutions for free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Hey, not only is it Sport Utility Spring at Sarah Whalen Chevrolet, but it's also time for their Blood Drive Friday. June 3rd from 8 to 4. Schedule an appointment. Visit redcrossblood.org. Whether it's a great deal on a brand new Chevy or being involved in their community, that's why Sarah Whalen is the best. They're there for you and your family. No wonder Sarah Whalen Chevrolet puts more new Chevys on the road in the whole country than any other Chevy dealer. Sarah Whalen Chevrolet, 17.5 in Van Dyke and Sterling Heights. Call 800-WHALEN-1 or go to sarahwhalen.com. Find new roads.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
Fly ball, right field, deep and way back. Another home run for Max Kepler against the Tigers, and 5 batters in the nightmare scenario for Alvin Rodriguez and the Detroit Tigers. Grand slam home run and a 4-0 lead for the Twins.
Alvin Rodriguez. You know, look, it's like saying, aside from the shooting, how did you like the show, Mrs. Lincoln? You know, he gives up the grand slam that you just heard there, but after that, he really settled down. He got 10 of the next 11 guys out, and he didn't give up another run. He pitched 5 total innings. Another young guy. You know where they got him from?
No.
Boy, if he comes through, becomes a really good player, Al's going to get a feather in his cap. They got him for Justin Upton.
How many feathers would that put in his cap?
Maybe 1.
No. So I want to quiz you just a second, because I mentioned the 6 times that the Tigers have scored more than 5 runs.
So you're going to ask me to figure out when they were?
Well, I think there's a handful of them that kind of stick out. So and that's why you're 41 games into the season and it's only happened 6 times. You're like, okay, well, you know, if I could go back and think about those 6, like how many could I actually pick out?
Did they win them all?
No, there's 1 loss.
Well, I mentioned one, the 13.
Right, yeah, because that one seems obvious, all right? So now you're down to only 5 other times.
No idea.
Opening day.
Okay.
And then...
Hey, you know why? Because I was driving from Atlanta to Augusta.
That's right. Yes, you were driving.
Right, I couldn't get it on the Odyssey app because I was out of market, remember?
That's right. Yes, you're beyond the geo fence. I tried to explain to my kids. They're like, Dad, why can't we get the game further away? And I'm like, well, you have to ask the Gov. But I said, there's this thing called the geo fence. And they're like, well, what's that mean? I said, there's a laser beam that comes down 75 miles outside of the center of Detroit. Doesn't allow you to...
Right, and the Gov is the one who shoots the laser.
Right, the Gov is the laser, yes. And the reason I remember one of the other ones was because it was against the Dodgers. And that's one of those,
right.
Where you play against the Dodgers and you beat one of the better teams. In baseball, I remember that one.
That was the one they beat Kershaw, right?
Yes. So
Kershaw got the loss. Or you're start.
A quarter of the way into the season, and you can pick out in your mind at least half of the times that they've scored. And this isn't like just breaking the bank. This is just over 4 runs, 5 or more. It's just that's how anemic this offense has been. Because when they do it, it seems like it's a cheerable deal. It's a memorable day for the Tigers. Hey, they scored more than 5. They scored 4. No.
Well, I scored 4 last night, and they needed to get 5. We're actually 6.
Yeah, 6, yes. Yeah, but if they had 5.
Yes, if. I look at AJ said, that's why I was like, AJ said, we have played them all game except for the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
7 innings of great baseball. They thought it was a 2020 doubleheader.
That's time for serious weather.
Very good morning to everyone. Let's start with this. Investigators are revealing more details surrounding Dwayne Haskins' death. So they released a report that says that he drank heavily and ingested ketamine in the hours leading up to his passing. He had a blood alcohol level of 0.24 at the time of the accident. The report also said, kind of like outlined his day. He had been training with some teammates in the Miami area all day, and then he eventually went to a club in the evening with a friend or slash cousin. And at the club, he did some drinking and then apparently got into a fight. Investigators say at the scene of the accident, they found Haskins' vehicle with a female companion inside. The woman told investigators that he had left the car on foot to try to find a gas station. They didn't reveal the relationship between the two of them. Investigators also...
You said it was his cousin.
Or his friend. Yes. Friend slash cousin. Investigators also ruled that he died of multiple blunt force injuries, and they ruled it as an accident.
Yeah, I mean, the accident part obviously was surprising. Although I had speculated before I found out there was that. It sounded like how anybody can do that. Because I've been on that road before.
Yeah.
It had suicidal tendencies to be like
no.
Well, when you hear how much alcohol he'd consumed, and I've never heard of ketamine. I Googled it and I was like, I still don't even know what it is. So I don't know how that affects you mentally, but I'm guessing those play a part.
It can be part of prescribed drugs in regards to anti-inflammatories and things like that. So that
probably doesn't mix them.
No, and that's one of those things that you see on the label that says when you take this, it will intensify the effects of alcohol.
And his blood alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit, right?
Yeah, it was one sample was 0.20, the other one was 0.24.
And either or, very high still, nonetheless, yes. So Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is investigating reported price gouging in Gaylord following the deadly tornado. This is awful. When people take advantage of people who are suffering, who are down, it is just disgusting. So she released a statement, her office released the statement that said, obviously, due to increased demand of basic goods and services after a disaster, scammers will take advantage, and that's apparently what they're doing. She made it very clear she has investigators on the ground to ensure that prices are fair and not artificially inflated.
Are these prices of people, like outside people coming in to perform services or to provide goods? Because
it could be anything.
This just seems like, I mean, Gaylord is not a big community.
No.
I know it grows in the summer, but it just would be even worse if it was somebody within that community.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm frustrated with this because of the things I'm seeing online with this crazy formula shortage. The people who are taking advantage of parents who are in need of formula are gross.
When you see a normal jar of formula that would cost you anywhere between like $20 and $30, going on online for $400,
it's disgusting.
It is awful.
It is. It's so awful.
Parents, I mean, when you're in a panic,
yes,
$400 is nothing when you're trying to figure out how to,
feed your family.
But your baby, because I looked into it. I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but I did ask my pediatrician. I'm like, hey, Teddy is 8 months old. Can we switch over to milk? And he said, absolutely not, because, I mean, for a lot of different reasons. The side effects of what could happen are terrible. So it's not like you can, if you have formula, cut it with milk and try and extend the formula that you do have. I mean, there's just, he said you got to find it somewhere.
And people are paying those crazy prices, and it makes me sad. Yes. A Detroit man has been charged after he swerved into a sidewalk and killed a 32-year-old mother who was walking to a nearby store. You may remember this happened about a week ago. This 24-year-old was driving south on Livernois when he basically just ignored a curve in the road. He swerved into this median. He struck the woman. He struck an unoccupied vehicle, and then he just fled the scene without stopping. Now, 3 days after this accident, he did go and turn himself into the police, and now he is facing multiple charges. Coke is hoping their new bottle design will boost recycling and prevent litter. So the company just started rolling out this new version of their plastic bottles, and they have attached caps. So instead of, twisting the cap off and setting it down or whatever you do with it, it would automatically just kind of stay right there on the bottle. They say that, our bottles are 100% recyclable, but the plastic caps often end up in the trash or in the litter. So this new design means that they'll stay connected and everything will get recycled together.
Is it like, well, you can't see it, Heather, but I have this water bottle where it pops up. And those, okay.
Yeah, and right now it's in the UK, and it sounds like we don't know if there's actually plans for it to come to the United States, so we may never even see it here at all, but it will be on all of their lineup. So not just Coke, but it also is going to be on Fanta and Sprite and Dr. Pepper and really anything else that Coca-Cola has.
And I love Coke. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it. All right, and thank you, Heather. Our telephone number, 248-539-9797.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. In the pro basketball playoffs, with Golden State extremely likely to advance to the finals with a 3-0 series lead on Dallas, let's see if there's a valuable bet to be made for Western Conference Finals MVP. Golden State star point guard is the heavy favorite right now at minus 2,000. I think there might be value on Golden State's forward, who had the big posterized dunk over Dallas' star in game number 3 and scored 27 points in game number 3. He is sitting at 10-1. He's got some media love right now, and if he plays well in game 4 and Golden State sweeps, I think that he might win Western Conference Finals MVP. I think that's a pretty decent bet to make at 10-1. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
As a small business owner, your bottom line is always top of mind. So start saving by switching to Comcast Business Mobile. It's a mobile service designed for small business that can save you money with unlimited data for just $24 per line per month for 10 lines. Perfect for any small business looking to grow. Or you can pay by the gig. And with access to millions of Wi-Fi hotspots, you'll pay only for the data you need. No line fees, activation costs, or term contracts. You can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill, all on the most reliable 5G network. And it's only available to Comcast Business Internet customers. So boost your business's bottom line with a more reliable, more affordable mobile service by switching to Comcast Business Mobile today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability assessment wins in 2H 2021. Wi-Fi networks not tested. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Hi, this is Bill. And Tim. Spring is here, and buying a car sure has changed. No more walking the lot to find the color you want. No more kicking tires. No more high-pressure negotiating. That's all changed. Custom ordering your new vehicle is now easier and quicker than ever. And you'll get the exact vehicle that you want. During the Ram Make the Switch event, get the John Jansen deal on a new 2022 Ram Bighorn starting at only $299 a month. Visit us online at southfieldchrysler.com. And remember, all roads and all towns use the Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and Telegraph.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With rising home values all over Michigan, smart homeowners call Hall first to tap into their home's equity. Get started on your cash-out refinance now. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us at callhallfirst.com.
And before my open chart concepts, attention firefighters, members of the military, and airport workers. For decades, first responders and firefighters at military bases and airports used a chemical-based foam to fight fires. Studies have shown that chemicals used to make aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, are highly toxic to humans and have been associated with several types of cancer. If you or someone you know was exposed to AFFF and were diagnosed with any of these cancers, including kidney, bladder, prostate, pancreatic, lymphoma, leukemia, testicular, and neuroendocrine, then you should call us immediately because you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call us at 800-558-0421. Our experienced attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless we get a recovery in your favor. Time is limited to file a claim, so call us now, 800-558-0421. Operators are standing by 24/7, so don't wait. 800-558-0421. That's 800-558-0421. Again, 800-558-0421.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Michael Pura of National Benefit Plans. Call 877-734-2200.
The Detroit Tigers play the Minnesota Twins. Pre-game tonight at 7:20 on 97.1. The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. Here's Stoney and Jansen.
97 on the Ticket. The telephone number 248-539-9797. We talked about this yesterday, the Josh Donaldson deal with Tim Anderson, where he called him Jackie because Tim Anderson a few years ago referred to himself as Jackie Robinson in a Sports Illustrated article saying he's trying to bring fun back to baseball. And Josh Donaldson says, you know, he's called him that before, and it's like they've joked about it. It's a joke. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. And they obviously had tempers flared over the weekend. It goes back even before this weekend when they played in Chicago. There was a little shoving deal. Anyway, Major League Baseball has decided to fine Donaldson an undisclosed amount and suspend him for one game, which he will appeal. According to Senior Vice President for Field Operations, Michael Hill of Major League Baseball, quote, MLB has completed the process of speaking to the individuals involved. There is no dispute over what was said on the field. Regardless of Mr. Donaldson's intent, the comment he directed towards Mr. Anderson was disrespectful and in poor judgment, particularly when viewed in the context of their prior interactions. In addition, Mr. Donaldson's remark was a contributing factor in a bench-clearing incident between the teams and warrants discipline. Now, some people think it's ridiculous. Well, it's because of the background that they didn't think it was, they thought it was an inappropriate comment, but they didn't think it was racist. So why are you suspending a guy a game for a ridiculous comment that, in their mind, they're not me per se, but
right, you have to be careful of opening the door for suspending players for disrespectful comments.
Correct.
Because there's going to be a few disrespectful things said in every game.
Hypothetically, you know, Trevor Bauer comes back and plays. People might say something disrespectful to him. Does that mean they get suspended?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's where you've got to be very careful. And if that disrespect, like, so they follow it up with the disrespect ended up leading towards this, you know, benches clearing brawl. Okay, I get that. All right. But if somebody does that again, and it's there's no racial component, but it's still very disrespectful.
Right.
Because we've had this before where I don't remember the individuals involved, but somebody was, talking about somebody's mom. I want to say this was about a year ago, and it led to a fight, but I don't necessarily know that there was any suspensions. I'll find it for later in the show because I do remember it, and it just, you got to be careful how you word that statement.
White Sox pitching coach Ethan Katz thought the penalty was weak. Quote, just one game? We all saw his malice at third base a week ago. Then this comment with the ridiculous excuse that followed. What's the point or message behind a one-game suspension? This is incredibly disappointing and plain frustrating. Personally, I think one game is enough. I think it does send a message that this stuff won't be tolerated. Yeah. But it does you're right, it does open up a can of, not to open up a can the way some announcers say open up a can, but I mean, what is disrespectful? I mean, so they're not saying, one thing Major League Baseball says, yes, we deem this a racist statement. That to me has more backbone to the suspension than just saying it was inappropriate. Now, would it have been a suspension if there was no bench clearing incident? According to the statement, I would say no.
Right. That's where you got to be very careful. And it was, let's see, I found it. It was, the A's and the Astros back in 2020, where it was.
That was a COVID year.
Yes, it didn't happen. Anyway, it was one of the coaches who was a former teammate of a player. Hitting coach Alex Cintron was the coach who made a comment about I want to say Ramon Laureano's mother. And so my point is, okay, there is a racially charged situation. Mm-hmm. Well, those comments are disrespectful, obviously.
Yes.
You also have other comments where, what do we call trash talk?
Right.
It's not respectful conversation.
Yeah.
But it's always been a part of the game. People ask me all the time, did you talk trash? What was Warren Sapp like? What was, what did people say? Mm-hmm. And there's this kind of this thing where, on the field, obviously it's never been racial. I've never experienced it or heard it. And when I say experienced it, I've never heard it on the field, racially motivated trash talk.
Right.
But if you're talking about somebody's family, how, for some that's going to be as emotionally charged as anything else.
You don't think back in the day, and even probably today, I don't think Larry Bird was called white boy when they trash talk back and forth to each other, because Larry Bird is considered the greatest trash talker of all time.
Yeah.
You don't think any of that happened or still happens? That's what I say. They have to at least say exactly why this is a one-game suspension.
Right.
They should have to say, we deemed that he made a racially insensitive remark. And that would, explain it a little bit.